Hi, I'm talking about how football shirts and boots have had an influence on football over the years, and how media has also had an influence on football over the years. So first, I'll start with football shirts. When we first started to play football, the football shirts used to be made out of cloth. Uh, this material is a heavy material, which isn't very stretchy, and isn't exactly the best thing to wear whilst playing sports, as for the material it takes in all the rain. Like, so when it rains, it takes in a lot of water, so it'll weigh you down. An example of this shirt is this. As you can see, it's not amazingly stretchy, and it's fairly heavy. It's not the lightest thing in the world, so it's not best for you to wear whilst playing football. When you wear this type of shirt when it rains, it literally all the rainwater gets into the shirt and it becomes really heavy. Something like 7% of the water actually stays on the shirt, so all your body weight and then 7% extra is quite a lot if you think about it. So you don't really want that hanging around on you, extra weight on you. We now wear shirts that are made out of polyester and cotton. We use these fabrics because they're not as heavy, and it makes the shirt stretchy, so we can have more movement, and it doesn't take as much water compared to cotton. An example of this shirt is I've got an Adidas one here. It's quite fairly stretchy, a lot stretchier than the other one. They use polyester and cotton together because the rainwater doesn't actually stay in the shirt. It kind of bounces off it, and then your body heat takes it away, which is quite useful, so you don't have that extra weight on top of you, which you don't really want when you're playing football. And yeah, it's a lot tighter as well to the skin, so you can have a bit more movement. So you get more movement really. And yeah, it's just quite a nice shirt to wear whilst playing football. I'm now going to move on to football boots. And when we first started to play football boots, we used to use heavy leather, such as like sheep, goats or cow's leather. I bought a boot, the Pantofolio, which is a fairly nice boot, which was made in 1896. For this boot they used goat's leather. The reason for this is because it's soft and won't hurt the skin when you put it on, and whilst you're playing football, so I won't rub and get blisters a lot at all. The one thing about goat's leather is that when it rains, it weighs the boot down a fair bit, and from this you won't be able to run as fast. So from not being able to run as fast, you can't play the best game you can, and so you can't run as fast, you can't kick as pull as hard. So from having a heavier boot, you can't play the best football that you want to play. The consequences from wearing this boot is it is fairly heavy just by itself as well, so it's not the best boot in the world, but it is really comfortable, which is quite good. Football boots nowadays have changed what leather they use from like sheep, goats or cow's leather to kangaroo leather, and what make have actually done this is Adidas. This is an Adidas boot, yeah. They use this type of leather because it conforms quickly to your foot, which meaning it shapes to your foot. So as you can see, it's shaped to where my foot has come from, so slightly down to the left. So it fits my foot, so I can kick the ball better. It doesn't absorb as much water, meaning the boot won't get heavy. The leather is soft, and the leather is very strong. So from soft leather, that's how you get the comfortable boot. For its strength, it helps to not break, and it supports your foot. And as you can see, there's area bits here and here. There are pads in here, so which someone does come in and knock your ankle, it won't hurt as much. That was really the biggest problem when we first started to play football, because boots weren't supportive of the foot, and they were too heavy, and they did break a fair bit too easy. I'm moving to the media side of football now. Football is pretty much an everyday life. The main places where we get now are on our phones and newspapers and your laptop or computer. Another example would be on the radio, and from the radio we get talk shows such as Talk Sport and 5 Live, which talk about games and live, and like talk about games when they're stream live games as well. Same with Talk Sport, and they also have like talk show hosts, well not hosts, but like they host talk shows where people can call in, talk about how they think the game went and everything, which is rather good. And then TV, we have like Sky Sports News, which is which everyone really uses, which is good. And then we have the football teams that have their own specific channels, which are like Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, Man City, and Everton all have their own channels, so which you have to subscribe to. If you do subscribe to them, what you will find is what is like basically everything inside the club when they're playing, how they've done, like, and everything that they're doing in training, or everything behind the scenes pretty much. Another source of media to find out about football will be newspapers and magazines. From newspapers, they're basically pretty much at the back of every newspaper that you'll find, and they are pretty much basically the main headlines of the weekend, or on Monday or Friday, however it is, midweek games, and all basically the top stories. You get the league table and then the top stories to go with it. The magazine side, you have magazines such as like Match of the Day, and I think it's just Match of the Day at the moment, which will give out weekly magazines based on just football, which is rather good. It's more of a kids one, where you just like play like mini games inside the book, and just give you a general overlook over the last weeks of football. A more adult magazine would be 442. It gives you a bit more information, a bit more serious, and it's generally quite good. Like, it gives you quite a lot of information about national teams, club teams all around the world. So that's really something good to look into. I said that we can look into laptops as well, and your phone. From laptops, we can access anything from laptop now. So from the laptop, we can access newspapers, and then just go onto the website, which would be helpful. So you can just click on, get in a couple of seconds, find out all the news you need to find out, which is rather good. With the phones, you get special apps. Like on my phone, I have the Sky Sports app. As you can see, it's just loading up now. I've chosen Chelsea, so from this I get to see what game they're playing next, and who they've recently played, the league table, then other news, key news, and then previous results, or the key results that have been going on now. If you go to the My Scores, you can see all the recent scores and who they're coming up against next. Fixtures come up with all the fixtures for today's games, which is rather helpful. On your phone as well, you can also access the internet, like I said. So you can access Sky Sports. I'm just loading up now. So you get all the news here. See Alex Ferguson there. So it's all, you can find out all the team news if you look up and if you search your team, and then you find out league positions and all the interests and like transfer news and everything like that. Then you can also go to the BBC side, which is pretty much exactly the same thing. Very helpful and it's good. On the App Store and probably most Android phones as well, you get the top charts, and if you click on to sports, I'm just doing now. Yeah. You will find there's a few apps just to do with football. So you get Tottenham there, Arsenal, Liverpool, even Middlesbrough. It's all rather good. It's very helpful. Just just tells you all the team news that you need to find out when they're playing next. It's rather good. From this, it just shows how much media has influenced the football. Without the media, no one would really talk about football as much as they would, and it's probably one of the key aspects, or the main aspect, in why football is so big, why it is now. And that's what I've got to say, really. Bye.